Guys doing? Big K back again for another vid with my training partner Gemini, who's chilling right now, right? Okay, she'll contribute her her 2 cents later on. So today I want to talk about ways to improve your workouts in the gym. People who've been going to the gym for years, even bodybuilders and regular people just trying to work out, getting the best of their workout. And today's topic is going to be engagement of the muscles, or time under tension, or flexing and feeling your mind muscle connection on what you're trying to accomplish when you go to the gym. Now, typically you see people go to the gym. Anyone can essentially throw around some weights. That's really not that. I mean, it is difficult. You're going to expend, a certain amount of effort, but it's really not a hard workout. What you must understand is everyone is not Ronnie Coleman. Everyone cannot take weight, throw it around, and they're going to stimulate muscle growth pretty much anywhere on their body. That's the exception, okay? He's one in a million, okay? But the average person doesn't grow. They don't get better because they're not engaging the muscles. What am I talking about when I mean engagement of the muscles? I'm going to give you a few examples. You take somebody who has naturally big calves, okay, and you wonder, wow, they never have to work calves in the gym. Why are their calves always big? Because they walk on their toes. Their calves are always engaged. They're always flexed. They don't even think about it. It's second nature to them. They've been walking like this their entire life before they can remember. The calves are always engaged. All right. You take a friend of mine, John De La Rosa. He has huge forearms. Sometimes this can be a detriment to him. Why? Because when he goes through a lot of movements, the forearms are always engaged. They're always flexed before. And he has to think to not engage them before he goes through the movement. With me, I don't do any traps. I don't have to shrugs. I don't do anything for my shrugs. Nothing whatsoever. I haven't done a shrug, a shoulder shrug in about 6-7 years. Okay? My traps are huge. Why? Because they're always engaged. All right? When I am bench pressing, sometimes I have to stay focused on keeping my traps lower so I don't engage them and work more of the chest. So when I do a shoulder movement, automatically, not even thinking about it, they're engaged. So what does this mean to the parts of the body that don't automatically become engaged or flex, time and attention? I'm going to give you some examples. When people bench press, usually the point of flexion is only at the top, the positive. And that's where they flex, right at the top. It's a very short amount of time to flex. Now, if you're still engaging, flexing your chest on the negative and the positive, that goes back to my original point of time under tension. The pectorals are under more tension in the time that you are performing that set. So therefore, you have an opportunity for the pectorals to grow more. It applies to every single body part. Biceps, people typically only flex on the up. They're not flexing the arm on the negative. They don't flex the arm on the negative. And that's a problem. Okay? When you're doing leg press, they only flex when they have to extend. They're not flexing when they're bringing the weight back. They just let it drop back into them. Typically, you see this a lot. Even bodybuilders, they let the weight just fall back. When they're doing shoulder press, they're not bringing the weight down controlled and pressing back up. It's drop, and then we start to use our muscles to flex back up. Engage. Keep the muscle constantly engaged, and you will notice that 1, your workout will become extremely more difficult. 2, here's the good part. You guys who spend 2.5 hours in the gym talking and texting, you won't have to. I only spent about an hour in the gym tops, and I'm out. They look at me, how could you do that? And when people might work out with me, they say, oh my God, I got more done and I'm more exhausted from your workout than from mine. And keep in mind, it's the same weight, even heavier. No, we don't do lightweight and say, oh, it's engaged. These so-called people call it sculpting exercises. If I'm using the same weight with more flexion of the muscle, how is this a sculpting exercise? Granted, it's not a compound movement, but it's not a sculpting exercise. So the last thing I'm going to point out is you typically see people who bodybuilders specifically, or just your average gym rat, they get bigger over time. You say, well, they're getting bigger, but they're not getting better. And I emphasized this in prior videos. Getting better is not the same as getting bigger. If you have weak shoulders, weak chest, and big biceps, if you get bigger, you're just going to get bigger with bigger biceps, slightly bigger shoulders and chest, but in proportion to the biceps, nowhere near where they need to be. When you start focusing on engaging muscles, then you will start to bring up those weak points of your physique. If you do not, there are bodybuilders who have been competing for years, and they come into every single show with the same exact weak points in their physique. No names, but there are certain guys who got incredible backs, and they come on stage with no legs. It's because of how they're working legs and they're working on the angles and engaging the muscles. But some people don't learn, and they continue to do this. So I hope from this video, this might help you out. You might take heed to what I'm saying. And as usual, this is Big K. Email me at Kayroyal, Kayroyal @gmail.com. Check out my Instagram, which is the same thing. And thank Gemini for all your contributions. Right, Mama? Say bye. Okay, she doesn't want to say anything. All right, I hope this has been helpful, guys. I'm out.